We back again with another one, Brett. Now let's get to it. So a lot of y'all been wondering, Flacco, what's the truth behind the T Rell bankruptcy papers that's been surfacing all across social media? See, before we can get to the T Rell bankruptcy papers, we gotta touch on T Rell and Tyga's dynamic because their history says a lot about what went on in the bankruptcy.
I mean, how I got past it is, through Tyga. But when I met that nigga, I had more good times than bad times, and I've never been out of California in my life until I met that nigga.
T Rell met Tyga through Schoolboy Q, but after Tyga and Schoolboy Q had a falling out, T Rell and Tyga formed their own relationship on their own accord. Now, T Rell began to work for Tyga, but his role was sort of unclear because he did everything for Tyga. He was Tyga's manager, road manager, assistant, security, planner. Like, he was everything for Tyga. His role was sort of invaluable. And Tyga recognized that. So Tyga wanted to reward T Rell with something substantial, ownership in something. So Tyga told T Rell, let's start a clothing line and you'll get 30%. And that's how Last King was formed.
What was your ownership percentage in Last Kings? Do you own any part of it?
30%.
Okay.
T Rell would eventually go on to own 30% of Last Kings, but when Last King started, he was given a slightly lower percentage. The percentage initially was slightly lower than 30% because when Last Kings first started, there was actually 4 members. The 4 members were Terrell Meeks, aka T Rell, Michael Ray Stevenson, aka Tyga, Shakur Bahati, and Glennon Morero. T Rell, Bahati, and Morero were all given 23.3% of the company, and Tyga was given 30% of the company. They were given 23.3% in exchange for their role in the company. T Rell was listed as president of the company, Tyga was listed as the chairman, Bahati was listed as creative director, and Glennon Morero was listed as the CEO. The breakdown of the company and the member roles were the first mistake the company made, because they didn't bring in anybody who was experienced at running a company. They made Morero the CEO, but he was actually just a graphic designer. And they made him the CEO because they didn't want to pay him up front for his designs and his logo, so they decided to give him the role as CEO in a company, despite the fact he was just a graphic designer who made logos. Now, the agreement was that Morero wouldn't receive payment up front, but he will receive payment based on how well the company does. Morero's first task as CEO of Last Kings was to file the company's trademark. Now, Morero would file the trademark through LegalZoom and try to keep Tyga in the loop as much as possible by forwarding as much emails he could to Tyga just to keep him in the know. But Tyga wouldn't be interested in what's going on, and he would delegate everything to Morero. Record was showed that Morero would forward over emails from LegalZoom to Tyga, notifying him that LegalZoom wants our logo as well and wants us to fill out certain information. Tyga, being really trusting, didn't involve an attorney and would tell Morero, listen, just fill out the trademark yourself. I don't really want to do it. Just fill it out and let me know how it goes by putting down my email. Tyga was really trusting, but him being that trusting was super foolish, and that will serve to be one of Tyga's biggest mistakes, because now Morero had full control to fill out the trademarks and the patents however he wanted to fill it out, and he took full advantage of it. See, he filed a trademark for Last Kings, but he also filed a trademark for the logo separately. See, for the Last Kings trademark, he included everybody, him, T Rell, Tyga, and the other owner, Shakur. But for the logo, the intellectual property that Morero designed himself, well, he kept that one for himself and never notified Tyga or T Rell of this, and he admitted so in court. It's detailed here from court records that Morero never notified Tyga or T Rell that he had intellectual interest in the logo, and T Rell and Tyga never found out because they never went to file no trademark for the logo. Their ignorance in allowing Morero to run things will come back to bite them in the butt. You see, Morero left Last Kings in early 2012. Now, he left because he really didn't see the company having a promising future. It really wasn't turning a profit. So he really didn't value 25% stake in the company, because 25% of zero is zero, and he had a better use of his time. So he left, vacating his 25%. But history will show he left a little too early, because the following year, April of 2013, Tyga would drop Hotel California, and Hotel California will be Tyga's first real success, because Hotel California reached the #1 top R&B/hip hop rap albums. So Tyga was officially a star and his status was rising. And as Tyga's status rose, the Last King brand began to rise as well. Morero, looking from the outside in, began to notice the success that Tyga and the Last King's brand was having. So Morero tried to contact Tyga to renegotiate to get some type of compensation for the work he did for the brand, since his percentage didn't really vet him any type of income or compensation because the brand wasn't profitable when he was there. Tyga would blow him off, sort of saying, hey, bro, like, you vacated your percentage. We don't owe you nothing. Tyga, in principle, was right. Morero vacated his percentage that he was given for being CEO when he left the company and stopped being CEO. But Morero had a wild card under his sleeve. You see, at the time, there was a lot of demand for Last Kings, and T Rell and Tyga didn't have the production and the means to create all the merch themselves. So they will license out Last King's name and likeness as well as the logo to these various merch companies at these various tours and venues. In return, the merch companies will handle all the load, all the work, the huge production, and the demand, and they will satisfy the huge demand for Last Kings. In return, Tyga and T Rell will get a percentage of whatever the merch companies sell. So by default, Tyga and T Rell was licensing out the logo that they thought the Last King brand and the company owns. But in fact, the company didn't own the logo. Morero owned the company's logo. Unfortunately for Tyga, he will learn that Morero owns the trademark to his company's logo in court. With Tyga unwilling to negotiate, Morero sued Tyga, T Rell, Shakur, and the Last King's company. After a little over 2 years of fighting this case and being in trial, Tyga, T Rell, and Last Kings realized, bro, yo, he got us. I mean, he owns the logo. Ain't much we can do. So they came to a settlement. It's unclear how much they settled for, but we do know it was a substantial amount, and that will serve to be T Rell's first big debt. Now, it could have gotten worse, so it was sweat off his brow, and he moved on and kept pushing, because it honestly could have been worse. But he will soon find out that things were gonna get worse. And they did, due to Tyga being Tyga again.
Tyga, you have any comment on the report saying that you hid money?
After going through the first debacle of being sued and not knowing if you're about to lose it all, T Rell will be notified again that he was being sued. And this time, he was being sued for something that had nothing to do with him. It was all Tyga's fault.
Anthony.
Tyga was notified he was being sued by his ex-girlfriend Chung Lee when a process server came to his shoe release, bought 2 pairs of shoes, came up for a picture, and then served him. The lawsuit states that Chung Lee is suing Tyga because Tyga took all the designs that she made for Last Kings under the guise of she would have ownership in Last Kings, but Tyga would take it, use it, and not give her a penny after their relationship ended. But Tyga did something real slick. You see, Tyga formed another entity called Egypt's Last King. Egypt Last Kings was also selling Last Kings clothing. However, Last Kings was licensing out the clothing to Egypt Last Kings. Now, if you're confused, I'll break it down for you, and here's why it's slick. You see, if you're suing a company for, let's say, copyright infringement or, they broke a licensing deal, you can't sue the company who is operating under a legal licensing, right? Meaning if Last Kings licensed out, the clothing to Egypt Last Kings, they have every right to sell it because they're dealing with Last Kings directly. They didn't break an agreement with you. So Egypt Last Kings, who was making $400K a month at this point, they couldn't be sued. But Last Kings could be sued. But here's what Tyga did, though. The licensing was for like $1. So it was for something like real small. So, Last Kings gave Egypt Last Kings exclusive rights to sell their clothing for like $1. Put it into other terms. That's like Nike giving you the right to sell all their exclusive stuff, and in return, you just give Nike $1 a year. That wouldn't make sense, right? Of course. So if you're going after Last Kings for the money they made in their licensing deal with Egypt Last Kings, then you would get a percentage of the dollar they made from Egypt Last Kings. So Tyga thought he was real slick. He thought, bruh, it's an ironclad method. You can defeat me. But here's the thing. He was defeated because he went to civil court and they clearly saw that Tyga created this new entity, Egypt Last Kings, under fraudulent pretense to defraud his ex-girlfriend, Chung Lee. So she was rewarded $1.6 million plus fees. That came up to about $2.4 million. T Rell owning 30% of the company, he inherited that debt as well. Now, here's the thing. Tyga is the multi-millionaire. He was supposed to pay the debt off so nobody else get effed over for his mistake. But up to this day, Tyga still hasn't paid off that debt. Not only has he not paid it off, but he hasn't paid a dime towards that debt. He still owes Chung Lee $2.1 million. And according to court documents, Tyga has been avoiding her. As a matter of fact, they even claim that Tyga is putting his money in these shell companies to kind of avoid paying her and not having to pay her. So because Tyga is avoiding it, well, the debt is inherited by all the owners of the company who also got sued and was listed in the lawsuit. So now the question is, if you were left holding millions in debt due to bad decisions that your rapper homie made, what will you do? What would you do? File bankruptcy, right? Yeah, probably. And that's exactly what T Rell did. You see, T Rell filed for bankruptcy, claiming, bruh, I owe $2.8 million in debt. My assets are only $17,000, Your Honor. I can't pay it. T Rell $2.8 million in debt is primarily from lawsuits. Now, T Rell petitioned the court and told them that he only made $1.4 thousand a month and that his net profit a month is actually in the negative. T Rell also petitioned the court to not accredit a lot of the assets in his possession because they don't belong to him. So the house, the cars, the business, the income that's coming in, how they eat, well, that's all on his fiance, Heather Sanders, not him. So he shouldn't be accredited for that. But y'all want to know, Flock, was T Rell broke? Is T Rell broke? Listen, bro, we know what the play is, bro. We know this is a 50 Cent play. All right, 50 Cent filed for bankruptcy and told them folks he made $10 grand a month when he was living in a $20 million home with $23,000 a month utility bills. All right, now, I ain't going to blow up my bro spot and give any type of estimate, but, T Rell got a YouTube channel that's the 52nd most super chatter YouTube channel on YouTube. he broke? Hey, listen, man. If y'all want to believe, bruh, right, that Heather got all the money and that it's actually his girlfriend's money that he's living on and not his, man, hey, listen. Y'all go with that, all right? And y'all tell the court to also believe that. Because apparently the court didn't believe it, right? The court didn't believe that T Rell was broke, and they actually rejected the bankruptcy because they think that T Rell is making more than he's putting out there. So if the court don't believe T Rell is broke, do you believe he's broke? But hey, believe what y'all want. But while y'all at it though, click on this video right here to find out how Joe Budden is breaking the law by doing this to his employees. I'm gonna see you guys in this video. I'm out of here, folks. Peace.